Hello Narayana students, greetings of the day. Today we are going to discuss class 10th chapter 2 polynomials. So in this chapter, if you see standard form of the linear equations in one variable, linear equations in two variables, quadratic equation and cubic polynomial. Sorry, quadratic polynomials, linear polynomial and cubic polynomials. Based on that, one more questions will be there. And then finding the zeros of a quadratic and cubic polynomials, relation between the zeros and coefficients of the polynomials. So these points we are going to discuss. So from this we can have 8 marks are provided going to approach for the public examination. So let us move on to introduction. What is a polynomial? Generally, we are able to discuss different relations between the uh, variables and constants. So combination of variables and constants connected with either multiplication symbol or division symbol are called terms. Combination of terms with either plus or minus are considered as a algebraic expressions. So an algebraic expression satisfying with positive non-negative integral powers is called a polynomial. So here root x means x power 1 by 2. It is fractional power, not a integral power. So second example is not a polynomial. First one is a polynomial. Then what is the standard form of a polynomial? So if the polynomial is starting with highest power n, so slowly n minus 1, n minus 2, it is going to decrease gradually till to 0 power of x. And highest quotient of highest power cannot be 0. Therefore, it is called nth degree polynomial. So, what is the meaning of degree of a polynomial? The highest exponent of the variable in a polynomial is called degree of the polynomial. Here, what is the degree of this polynomial? 1. Here, highest power is 3, so degree is 3. Then, what is the zero polynomial? Zero polynomial means quotient of every term becomes 0. That is called degree of zero polynomial. So degree of the zero polynomial is not possible to conclude. Therefore, it is not defined. So nth degree polynomial has at most n zeros. At most n zeros means it may be n zeros or less than n zeros. So constant polynomial means a polynomial with degree 0 is called a constant. That means we have only constant. There is no variable in that polynomial. Such polynomial is called constant polynomial. So similarly, what is linear polynomial? If the degree is 1, it is linear polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. If the degree 2, quadratic polynomial. Cubic polynomial. If the degree 3, cubic polynomial. If the degree 4, biquadratic or quartic polynomials. So what is the zero of a polynomial? So the value of the polynomial which make the entire value of the polynomial become 0 is called zero of the polynomial. So for example, if you see this polynomial, if you substitute in place of x4, the entire value of this polynomial becomes 0. Therefore, x is equal to 4 is one of the 0 for this polynomial. Similarly, if you substitute x is equal to minus 1, then also we will get the value of the total polynomial becomes 0. Therefore, the zeros of the linear polynomial are 4 and minus 1 for this. So, from this, we will get for linear polynomial how to get linear 0. So, by equating 0, you will get minus b by a. Then, what is the meaning of geometrical meaning of the zeros of a polynomial? When the graph cuts the x-axis, the particular value becomes considered as the zero of the polynomial. See this. Here the entire polynomial graph cuts the x-axis at only one place. Sorry, y-axis at one place. So here it is no zeros are there. So if any that entire graph exists, cuts the x-axis or meet the x-axis, then only we can say this graph has zeros. This graph doesn't has zeros as the graph does not meet the x-axis. And you see this, the entire graph intersect the x-axis at one point. Therefore, it has only one zero, which is nothing but x coordinate of this point, minus 3 by 2. And similarly, here curve intersect the x-axis at two places, touch that x-axis at one place, never touches. So intersecting means number of zeros 2, touches means number of zeros 1. Intersecting means there is no x-intercepts. Therefore, number of zeros is 0. Okay, we have No real zeros are there. So curve open upwards when a greater than 0 for all the three cases. So d greater than 0, it is open distinct intersecting at 2 points. Equal to 0 means touches, less than 0 means never touches. When a less than 0 open downwards, since positive discriminant positive means 2 times, 0 means 1 time, less than 0 means never negative, never touch the x-axis. So children, observe this graph. This graph, based on this graph, we have 4 more questions are there in this based on this graph. Generally, how many zeros are there? 2. What is the shape of the graph? Parabola. What is the name of the graph? See, as we have minus 1 and 4 are zeros of the graph, then what is the name of the polynomial? So, x square minus sum of the roots into x plus product of the roots. So, 4 minus 1, 3 is the quotient of x, product is minus 4. Therefore, this is the polynomial. Okay, so x-axis intersected to 2 points, nothing but minus 1 comma 0. So, therefore, zeros of the polynomial are minus 1 comma 4. Observe this here, no zeros because this graph never touches the x-axis. Here 1 0, 1 2 3 zeros. Here 2 zeros. Here 1 2 3 4 zeros. Here 1 2 3 zeros. Relationship between the zeros and quotient of a polynomial. So generally sum of the roots is minus b by a. Of course, this is for linear polynomial. 0 is minus b by a. When it is quadratic polynomial, sum of the roots is minus b by a and product of the roots is c by a. So here we are going to discuss about sum of the roots and product of the roots and some of the products of taking two roots at a time. So from the cubic polynomial. So then it is about standard forms for the quadratic equation when the roots are given or when sum of the roots and product of the roots are given. Now we are going to find the quadratic polynomial if sum and product of the zeros are known. So from this we are using. This is one of the 2 more questions for this. So from that we are going to use the same concept to solve, to find the roots, to find the zeros. This is factorization that we are going to find. To find the zeros, we have to let the given polynomial to 0 and go for factorization. So all the questions are also in the same model. And see, sum and product of the roots are given, zeros are given. So alpha plus beta is 1 by 4, alpha beta is minus 1. By applying this formula, we will get this. When k is equal to 4, numerator is the required answer. In such a way, this is 2 more questions for your public examination children, very important. And the other all questions in the same Roman also following the same manner. And see, this type of questions are as a 4 more questions for your public examination. What is the shape means parabola? How many zeros means 2 zeros? What are the zeros means minus 2 and 4 x coordinates of these 2 points? Sum of the zeros means minus 2 plus 4. Product of the zeros means minus 2 into 4. Find the quadratic polynomial represented by the graph means take it as alpha is minus 2 and beta is 4 and substitute in that polynomial. Then what is the quotient of x square? Positive or negative? Since it is open upwards, it is positive. If it is open downwards, it is negative. Same questions, same model. So here we have one more question is there under creation. So create a polynomial which is trinomial. Create a polynomial with a degree 2 having constant. Trinomial of degree 7. So they are going to provide one situation by formation providing with different conditions. We have to cross check whether all the conditions are satisfied or not. So that's all for today's information. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.